Nigeria's oil sector was considered one of the most lucrative in the world. The country had vast oil reserves and the potential for growth was enormous. However, things changed when the government took control of the oil sector and mismanaged it for decades. The story of the Nigerian oil sector is a tale of mismanagement, corruption, and exploitation. Nigeria produces around 2 million barrels of oil per day and is the largest oil producer in Africa, but it remains one of the poorest countries in the world. The Nigerian oil sector has been plagued by a range of issues, including pollution, sabotage, theft, and mismanagement. The first oil well was drilled in IBEJI, Niger Delta in 1956 and the first crude oil exports began in 1958. For the first 2 decades, the oil industry in Nigeria was dominated by foreign companies such as Shell, Mobil, Texaco, and Chevron. Nigeria's oil sector started to decline in the 1970s. The government nationalized the oil industry in 1971 through the Nigerian National Oil Corporation, which later became the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC. The NNPC became the sole operator of the oil industry in Nigeria, and foreign oil companies were forced to operate as joint ventures with the NNPC. The nationalization of the oil sector was meant to benefit Nigerians by providing them with a larger share of the oil wealth. However, the reality was different. The government used the oil sector as a cash cow, siphoning off billions of dollars from the industry into its coffers. Corruption became rampant, and the oil sector was plagued by mismanagement, inefficiency, and waste. The negative impact of oil production on the environment and oil spills, gas flaring, and other environmental hazards have caused severe damage to the Niger Delta region, destroying the livelihoods of thousands of people who depend on fishing and farming. The oil industry in Nigeria has also been plagued by theft and sabotage. Thousands of barrels of oil are stolen every day, costing Nigeria billions of dollars in lost revenue. Despite these challenges, the Nigerian government has not done enough to diversify the economy away from oil. The country is heavily dependent on oil exports, which account for over 90% of its foreign earnings.